Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Sportiest stream. I'm your host, Sporty FC. We've got some Black Line Championship Series playoffs coming to you here straight from the Contenders series. But I'm not here alone. Joining me is the wonderful, the amazing Zenzivo, a content creator, was a content creator and a friend of the Final Forum organization. How you doing, Zenzivo? It's nice to have you.
I'm doing amazing. Always good to get to cast with you. You're one of my absolute favorite casters, so always a blast. And yeah, super excited for this matchup. I'm still a caster for Final Form, and I've been a long time friend of theirs. I actually was with them while they were Final Form, but even before they were Final Form, back when it was still Empire. And I'm really good friends with the team captain of Akuma, GG Fire. So super excited to get this matchup.
Yeah, of course, me too. And yeah, that's one of the fun things about this one. I mentioned the team, and immediately Zen goes, "Oh, I know this guy. He knows who Gigi Fire is, as it is FFE Akuma, with Gigi Fire, Burnset, Mr. Anderson, Arc, and Coach Green Warrior, taking on Evolve Sakura and Reaper, Crowd, and Jarhead. This is a 3v3 best of 7 round. This is part of the Black Line playoffs, and I mean, for these teams, the regular seasons have been, let's just say, almost completely opposite to each other. FFE Akuma 6-1, the top of their group of 8 teams, whereas FFE Sakura, sorry, not FFE, Evolve Sakura just barely made it out of the group in the number 4 seed and group in their group. Again, if you were in that bottom 4 of those 8 teams, you are not making it to the playoffs. They just barely made it with a 4-3 record. So these teams couldn't be on opposite sides of the bracket, but Zen, you know this as well as I do. From the amount of time we've seen this happen, you can't underestimate teams when you're in the
Yep.
playoffs, because anything can happen in this format.
Yep, that's exactly right. And it also, something that people don't take into consideration a lot of time is the strength of the group, the strength of your schedule. Maybe a team started off a little bit slow, but they really put their heads down and grinded through and got much better, since the first half of the season. So I couldn't agree with you more. FFE Akuma need to come in taking this team very seriously, which I have a feeling. I know how competitive Fire is and the whole squad over there. So I have a feeling they will. But yeah, they cannot take this Evolve Sakura team lightly, because next thing you know, they're down 2-0, 3-0, saying, "Hold on, I thought this was supposed to be an easy win."
Yeah, and the thing about this bracket as well, don't see it. There is a lower bracket, but that lower bracket is best of 5s if you lose this match. And it's best of 5s when you use the next round as well. So you really cannot lose. If again, you don't. Again, you have to make it into that winners quarterfinals to escape the best of 5s. And the best of 5s are really scary in the playoff system, because it is so quick, so short, that if one misstep, maybe a little lapse, you aren't gonna have that same safety net that a best of 7 has. And that's what can be really scary about matchups like these. Is just how it's just how quickly your season can end, even as a top tier team. Even as, again, as we've talked about FFG Akuma, a 6-1 record. Again, they have been tearing it through their group. Their only loss came to Adrenaline Gold, who are in this playoff bracket as well. For Evolve Sakura, as you mentioned again, they had a rough season, but as you said again, they kind of the quick comeback in their final 4 weeks of action. They won for all 3 of those matches, and with another going to game 5. So these guys, they've had to go for the ringer. They've had a really tough start to the season, but as you said, at the end of the season, these guys have picked things up, and well, it's anybody's game to take.
Yeah. Yep. And you have to think, right now they have that underdog feeling. They have that momentum, that confidence going in, where they're like, they won 3 of their last 4 games. They're not feeling like the same team in that first half of the week. And, touching on what you said earlier, you don't want to lose this one and drop down to the bottom, because these best of 7s, especially in the playoffs, that's what you need. We know how much nerves can come into play when it comes to the playoffs. People will be nervous. Sometimes it takes you a game or two to really shake that. And if it's a best of 5, you go down. You it takes 2 games to get started. Next thing you know, you're swept, right? But when you have that best of 7, you have a little bit more of a cushion. And yeah, I don't think either of these teams want to get knocked down. So I think they're both gonna, really leave it all on the pitch here tonight. And I really just hope Akuma doesn't take them lightly, because I have a feeling Evolve are going to be coming in with some momentum, some confidence from ending so strongly in the regular season and making the playoffs.
Yeah, the other two teams that are waiting on them: Esports Tower, Gators, Galactic, Hubble. We don't know the winners of that match on it. Hasn't been updated for us, but again, those are some pretty scary teams in their own right. With, again, Esports Tower Gators only going second in the group, only losing to Team Ignition, who have been absolutely dominant this season. I've been able to see a lot of Ignition, obviously, as I'm on Ignition, so always fun to get to see that. But yeah, that's another very scary team. And again, also Esports Tower, Hubble. Hubble is also in there. Again, another very scary team. There's so many good teams in this playoff bracket. Again, yeah, I really can't take anybody lightly, especially with how long this bracket is. One misstep could definitely be your downfall, as you've mentioned. And this is going to be, again, this is going to be really interesting for these teams, because it is a long playoff bracket. You go through the upper bracket. If we just say that you win every single match in the upper bracket, that's 6 matches. You got to win 6 matches straight just to win through the upper bracket. It's a long playoff bracket. These guys got a long road, and they're all best of 7.
Yeah.
Every single week. In the lower bracket, it's even worse. You might have to even play. I think next week, if you go to lower bracket, you have to play 2 matches if you lose in this first round. So, it's really scary, because that lower bracket, it's 9 matches. It's 10. You have to win 10 straight to win the finals. So, not really what you want to see happen. And again, for these teams, it's a long playoff bracket. But lower bracket specifically, again, it's a very quick one. You got to play your matches quickly. And again, you also just don't have that second life. So these teams are going to look to hold that as long as they can.
Yeah, and it's going to be, especially tough over on this side of Evolve Sakura, because they don't have a sub, right? So that's nobody can have any type of issues. And the biggest thing, not even that, a huge reason that I like to have a sub ready is because you know this better than anybody, Sporty. Sometimes putting a sub in, even if they're a lower rank than who you subbed them in for, sometimes that changes the entire dynamic of not only the match but the series, right? It's a different look, it's a different feel. And yeah, it's going to be a very long, hard road with only 3 players.
It is, but I mean, for both these teams, they are prepared for this. These are their best players. So, again, you get into the playoff bracket, you want to make sure you get off to a good start. And again, for Evolve, Sakura, this matchup could be a complete change around to what their season has been so far. Again, a rough record, a 4-3 record that they won't be happy with. So, again, that doesn't matter anymore. Now they're in the playoffs. All that matters is getting wins, keeping yourself in the upper bracket as long as possible. And potentially, they might become the best team in the Contender Series, which is the biggest grouping of all the teams here. The Contender Series, I believe, it has a ton of teams. It is 8 teams per group. 3, 4, 5. I think it's 7 groups. Yeah, 8 teams per group, 7 groups. It's a big grouping here. And again, only half of those teams have made it in.
Wow.
It's a big one, and only half those teams have made it to the playoffs. So they're part of the top half of the teams here. They gotta prove that they are even better than that, because again, the playoff bracket is such a scary time, but it's such a hype time for the Blackline Championship Series, because it's like many weeks of playoffs. It's like a whole month or 2 of playoffs. That's what's fun about this league. The playoffs are so long, and yet they're so hype, because you just have them week after week after week, and you got these teams fighting in every single week like it's their last. We're gonna see just how it is. Again, this will be very interesting, because again, it's FFE Sakura, Evolve Sakura, FFE Akuma. I'm gonna mix those names up a couple of times. I know I will. Here in this.
Usually it's me. Usually
it's you who does it.
Me.
I'm not the one who's usually mixing up names, but tonight it's something else, I guess. We'll give these teams time to join on in. I can say FFE Akuma are in the lobby. We're just waiting on Evolve Sakura right now, but they should be here any moment. They literally just messaged me. They're in a warm-up match and they went to a long overtime. So they'll be here. Don't worry, guys. Evolve Sakura is not scared of FFE Akuma, or at least they aren't showing that they're scared.
Yeah, and I like that. I like playing in that a long overtime right before your playoff matchup. Their hands are warm. They're ready to go.
Well, they just joined. Let's get this series going. Reminder, best of 7 series. All playoff matches in the upper bracket are best of 7. You got a long road to go to keep your season alive. You're gone to the regular season. That's great and all. But for Evolve, Sakura, FFE, Akuma, there's a long road ahead of them. We mentioned it. How many matches was it in the upper bracket? 7 matches in the upper bracket? It's a scary season, but here we go. This is its beginning. A best of 7. Evolve Sakura on the blue, FFE Akuma on the orange. The start of the Contenders Series playoffs, and the start for both these teams are racing for the trophy.
And I'm not sure what happened on the kickoff there. I don't know if Mr. Anderson just tried to make the read and dive in, or if he purposely got the demo, but it put FFE a little out of position, and they nearly got scored on. The crossbar kind of saved them. Able to find a little bit of offense here. Jarhead able to 50 it away, but certainly a scary start there for FFE.
Yeah, but if you think that's going to be scary, well, there's still a long series to go. They're going to be putting a couple of scares here. Again, we mentioned it. I don't think Evolve Sakura are going to be an easy team for FFE Akuma. I don't think really many teams in this bracket are easy, but for the amount of work that FFE Akuma have put in this season, Sakura came out of a tough group. Again, I mentioned it. In the last 4 weeks, they won 3 of their matches. The other one was against Evolve Moonstone, and that went to Game 5. So these guys know what they're doing, but they gotta be careful. In front for Fire! That's gonna go in the bottom corner. GG Fire will score first for FFE Akuma.
And we see a big demo there. A big demo there from a burn set, completely opening up the net. And then Mr. Anderson almost had a play on the ball there. So the defense had to respect that, leaving an easy open net for Fire as Reaper gets a demo. Crowd trying to clear it around. Reaper picks up another demo. He said, you guys want to get physical? We can play physical. And, you know, nobody is a bigger fan of that than me, Sporty.
yeah. It's the Ninja Classic. It doesn't take him very long before he mentions demo game. And in the playoffs, when the pressure's on, when you have to play well, when you have to play aggressive at times, those demos can be a huge difference maker. So many top tier teams are top tier not because of the quality of the play, but it's because of the quality of those demos. And when there's no defense back, your shots don't have to be that good to go in. They just have to be on target. And again, we're going to see a lot of those demos coming in. These teams are already bringing the demos now, but I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more in the future as Reaper in the midfield. He's got open space, looking down for Crowd. That's off the crossbar. Follow up from Jarhead, and that will find the back of the net. Evolve Sakura will tie it up at 1.
And a great team play there, right there. Crowd dimes Reaper up. Reaper can't quite find the net, but I love going high off the backboard. You know, having that strategy where you say, okay, I'm going to bang this towards the crossbar because, 1, I have a chance of it just going in. But number 2, I have faith. My teammate is behind me. I trust in them, and me putting it off the lower backboard / crossbar, that is gonna make the defense awkward. It's exactly what we saw. Great team play there. And Crowd, almost had another opportunity. Fire, very patient though, able to make the clear. And we're almost at the halfway mark here, tied up, and it seemed very close, you know. And I think it's a classic. We talked about it quite a bit, but where one of these underdog teams starts bad in the beginning of the season, really takes it serious, really changes it around, and on paper you look at these, you know, records and everything, and you're like, oh, this should be a wash. It's not. You know, Sakura, they are here to play.
Evolve Sakura, again, as you said, are stepping up to the plate. They're stepping up to the challenge, and they're looking to throw some punches here at Akuma, but still, FFE Akuma have definitely been the better team to hold that pressure. You're seeing a lot more control in that midfield, whereas for Sakura, it's a lot of clears, a lot of trying to get quick counterattack plays up on offense. FFE Akuma are holding control as now a pass in the midfield. Crowd will keep it away here. Burn set to the corner. Jarhead is not going to get the read there. Reaper's going to get in time. Here comes Burns at that's high. Fire will jump, but Crowd will keep it away again. FFE Akuma had their chance, but a missed opportunity will leave a Sakura on a 1v2. Reaper, he just gave that one away. He had time. Now he's looking for demos. He'll actually get a response there from Burnset, but here comes a pass in field. Jarhead will be stopped by GG Fire, and FFE Akuma will keep this thing tied. Crowd, again, on defense. You're going to see a lot of this from Crowd, a lot of rotations. He's not afraid to cut into the midfield there, especially on defense, just to cut plays out from FFE Akuma, and it's stopping a lot of these passes as that one to the corner. Jarhead getting it in the way. Evolve Sakura. We're reaching that final minute here, and the underdogs are not going to be happy with that. What a save from Crowd off his crossbar. Evolve Sakura stay alive on defense.
Huge save from Crowd there. I thought that was done and dusted in the net. But I have to agree with you. It does see that FFE Akuma as Reaper able to make this saving by for the putback. Fire tries to put it high. Nice save by Jarhead. Right now, they're being absolutely smothered. Burnset finds it, crowd. All 3 members of Sakura picking up not only a save there, but a huge save. Made me completely forget what I said. But their offense is short-lived, and they don't want to rely on these crazy saves as crowd. Save your medal. Oh, Mr. Anderson, big opportunity, but couldn't find the net. FFE are swarming.
They are, but they haven't found the goal, and I don't care how much offense you have. If that back of the net is not scored on, FFE Akuma, it's still tied. The scoreline still 1-1. Sure, they may be winning the shots and the pressure, but that doesn't mean anything in the final scoreline. FFE pushing up again. Reaper, awkward, in front! Mr. Anderson with the go-ahead goal. FFE Akuma, 5 seconds left to take game 1.
And that's where it's so bold. I understand Reaper's thought process there of going on the backboard, but when you're the last man back, it can be very, very dangerous to not only go on the backboard, but go high up the backboard, as they're going to have to keep this up here. Mr. Anderson trying to get a 0-second goal, but off the crossbar. But yeah, he put himself in a very tough spot there. Maybe he thought his team had a little more time to get back, but he's up on that backboard. Of course, the opponents are going to go low with that. And I'd say I love the Rockets Engage.
Yeah, I was gonna say
title for Fire. And if anybody doesn't know the story behind that, he proposed to, I don't know if they got married yet, but his fiance, or could be wife by now, at Worlds last year, and they put it up on the main monitor, and it was an awesome event. But yeah, you see he's got the
well, they don't see it.
We're
not. I have a special screen, so they can't see
I
that.
got you.
The rule, but yeah, GG Fire has a Rockets Engage channel. I will show you guys going in the game too here, but for now, FFE Akuma, much more pressure, 11 shots to 5, doubling that of all but Sakura. And again, we mentioned that this team is the favorites. They're showing why they're the favorites with all that pressure, but you're seeing a lot of difficulties with them scoring here. As let's make sure we can get them in again. I'll show you all the Rockets Engage title, because why not? It is pretty cool as well. As again, FFE Akuma have taken game 1 with 5 seconds to spare, but of all Sakura, that game 1 is any message onto what's going to happen for the rest of the series. This team is going to be a tough one for FFE. Yeah, I really think we're going to see them fight back here. I'd be very surprised if they don't pick up at least 2 games. And not saying that they can't win it, but I think that's bare minimum, because they're playing very, very strong, and FFE Akuma will just have to play consistently at the top. They're very, very best to beat these guys. I do want to point out, you already know the stat I'm pointing out, 7-3 on the demos, making a big difference. Reaper really turned it up and picked up 3 demos of his own, but neither of his teammates had any. And I really got to wonder if we're going to see a little aggression out of FFE Akuma. They had all that pressure, but it seemed that they were playing very lax with their third man. Their third man was, all the way at midfield, if not behind that midfield line most of the time they were on offense. And you have to assume it's because it was game 1, right? They were filling them out. They were kind of giving them that respect. But we noticed in the last minute or so, they started to tighten that up and just absolutely smothered them. So I assume we're going to see them kind of go right back into that. Well, for Akuma, there's less pressure on him at this game, but you can definitely see they're pushing. As Anderson off the back wall, burn set, that's gone high. Here comes Fire, that's off the bar, in front for Mr. Anderson, and that will fall in. FFE Akuma continue to ask questions, they'll get their answer here, as that touch from crowd did exactly not what he wanted. It left it in front of the net, and instead of going to the corner, bad place, bad time, Evolved Sakura will have to pay the price.
And once again, FFE Akuma starting the scoring off, and exactly what I was kind of alluding to, talking about. We just seen them smother them there. I think they realized, hey, we're a little bit quicker. Their defense, they're not clearing it out. They're not, getting those outlet plays. They're just passing it right back out to us. And that's what we're going to have to see Sakura change here if they want to not only take this game number 2, but take this series. They have to stop with the cookie cutter clear out of defense. They have to find a teammate, or at the very least, find wide open space to clear it to, not directly to the defender, as we see it right there. Oh, but a nice upfield pass. Burn set is able to get the 50. He's going to try to pop it up for a teammate, maybe for himself here. Reaper, awkward spot, but good patience and a nice save.
Another demo from Burn Sets. FFE Akuma, whenever they can't get the shot, they'll go for the player instead. As now shot from Jarhead. That's going to be saved by Burn Sets. FFE Akuma, I mean, you've talked about how they haven't had to deal with a lot of pressure. They've still had to deal with a lot of shots that involve Sakura. Definitely no strangers to putting that ball on target, although again, as you said, they aren't getting a lot of opportunities kind of following each other. It's just one and done as Fire off the back wall. Here comes Burn Set. That's not on. That was a incredible touch from Fire, but it won't fall through. Still, they attack. Here comes Fire. That will go in. FFE Akuma turned on the ball quickly. And look at this from Burn Set on low boost as well. Goes on because that last touch just a shufflet past Reaper, and that leaves an open net for his captain. FFE Akuma have doubled their lead to 2.
And Fire with the big demo right there on who would have been the third man after the commit that came right after that. Mr. Anderson opened net off the kickoff, and all of a sudden in game 2, FFE Akuma really starting to run away with this one. Game 1 was 1-1 for the majority of the time. Game 2 started off 1-0, but just like that, within about 4 seconds off of the game clock, FFE Akuma take it from 1 to 3. And I have to ask you, do you think they go with the timeout right after this game if it continues this way?
There are no timeouts in this league. No.
Okay.
There are no timeouts, but they can still take that minute. They can still take that minute afterwards. And if I was this team at this point, especially how this game's going, if they can't make any adjustments at the end of this game, they can't kind of get that offensive momentum. Yeah, I think they should. Easily, I think they should.
So
I see a lot of teams where they do it after losing 3 games, and at this point in the series, and at least at this point in my opinion, there's a reason why a lot of teams at the highest level don't do that. And it's because when you lose 3 games straight, you can only lose 1 more, meaning any misstep can be your final step. You can't make that, and again, that's why you want to make those, timeouts, those little extra moments earlier in the series, so that you have more time, that you have, so it's easier to come back. But again, I think for Evolve Sakura, their job right now is just to get pressure on this on Akuma, because if they don't have to use that timeout, that might be for the better for them.
Yep, I agree. I mean, obviously, you never want to because, they're ready, right? As we talked about, the nerves are high. Oh, Reaper went for the demo in front of his net there, and I think it kind of cost him as he was just trying to return the physicality, say, hey, get out of here, but puts him in an awkward position. He tries to cut around FFE Akuma. 4-0, and I'm interested to hear what you have to say, Sporty, but I think 2 big things need to change for Sakura. 1, I already talked about, they need to find as Fire another demo. You have to assume these are getting to them. They're making them angry, getting them out of their playstyle, and it seems that it has. But as crowd almost finds the first goal here, but puts it just wide. They don't want me to do any color commentary at all, Sporty. They're just all action, and I love it. But yeah, they need to find more outlet passes out of defense and better clears, so that basically right now they just continue to clear it right to the second or third man. I mean, right there, they just did it again, as we have a rule 1 in there in the net. But 2, they have to find a way to stick around on the offensive side. You already said it. They can find shots. They can get those opportunities, but it's one and done, and it's right back to defense. They have to find some ways to kind of emulate what FFE Akuma are doing and stick around on offense, get more than 1 opportunity, because that's not going to be enough to score.
Last game, Evolve Sakura got, 1 goal last game?
Yep.
They weren't able to recreate it this game as well either. They have just been shut out. FFE Akuma have gotten better now in game 2. It doesn't happen often. Usually when a game 1 is just so one-sided, you generally see game 2 maybe stay close. No, this one is even worse. 19 shots.
19.
To 8. 19 shots. Now, I'm just going to say this. You're not winning if you're giving up 19 shots to a team.
No.
And for Evolve Sakura, again, I think this is their time to take a little break, try to take a reset. But they have actually decided not to do that. They're going right back in. They don't want to wait at all. And that is quite a surprise.
Yeah, and I think is a big thing. I really noticed it. I know I mentioned it at the beginning of last game. I noticed in game 1 about the first 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes, FFE Akuma were playing cautious offense as third man. The last minute, it seemed that it kind of clicked. They noticed, they said, hey, we have the speed to stay a lot closer and be a lot more aggressive. And once they started doing that, it was really hard for Sakura to get out of their half. They came out with that exact play style to start game 2, And I really think that was the difference. Not to mention they had a bunch of demos which seemingly got in the head of Sakura, but they need to shake that off here and now. They do not want to have to clean sweep a very, very strong team like Akuma.
No, you don't want to, as FFE Akuma, again, are just going to continue that same playstyle until Evolve Sakura can prove that they can answer back. Right now, for Sakura, they haven't had a lead yet this series, and maybe this is their chance. Jarhead get to Mr. Anderson, and that will be taken away. Beeper with the challenge. GG Fire. Sent down the midfield. FFE Akuma looking for some space. GG Fire wants that dunk, but Jarhead will clear it away. And Evolve Sakura, again, their defense has proven to be relatively strong, but again, you can tell that there's a huge difference between these teams. FFE Akuma are just running around so quickly. Evolve Sakura are just not following up each other's touches as well as Reaper. Interesting, he's going to do a 3-point turn there to get back to that one. FFE Akuma back up the field again, though. And again, I told you about Evolve Sakura. It's one offensive play, and then they lose it. And now a miss there, Mr. Anderson. Saved by crowd. Here comes Fire off the corner. Will be cleared away by Reaper. Already back is FFE. Burn sets. Reaper looking to the midfield, but no challenge will ever come as Mr. Anderson has it away. And FFE Akuma continue their squeeze, continue their pressure. They haven't scored yet this game, but it only feels like it's a matter of time before they find that breakthrough. And I expect, as you mentioned, it will come from a demo play.
Yeah, and you know, it will make me very excited to see it. But interesting statistic here, 3-1, now 4-1 on the shooting for Sakura. It's just they're so quick. I mean, they're allowing the speed of FFE Akuma. They're really like giving them that advantage because they're rushing straight from offense back to defense, right back to offense, is where we see it seems much more controlled from Akuma. And you wouldn't think they were outshot, 4-1 to start this one, but I mean, Evolve Sakura doing what they needed to do as that one. They're lucky it was wide. But it's all tied up here halfway through, but being tied's not enough. We're going to need to see them take their first lead of the game as Burnset. Big demo in front of the net almost causes some panic, and right now FFE Akuma really circling. Fire takes the pass, crowd there to save it. Burnset just going to opt to kind of rotate back there. I think I would have liked to see him stay a little more tight, but he is there for the dunk. Jarhead gets the clear away. Anderson high up the backboard. Crowd picks up a demo of his own, and Fire with the little miss. A little bit of breathing room here for Evolve.
Yeah, but that breathing room, if you want to call it that, it's still suffocation here from FFE Akuma. Here's another chance. Jarhead's got the clear, and now this is a good chance. Jarhead up early, faking. It will fall in. Evolve Sakura inside the final 2 minutes. It's a long shot from Jarhead, but Mr. Anderson never read it, and that will fall for Evolve Sakura. Goal 1 is theirs, their first lead of the series.
I felt that moment. I'm sure you did. I'm sure Chad did too. Mr. Anderson certainly thought from what he did with his car, he thought that goal was fire. Oh, the kickoff goal. Immediately, you have to feel for Evolve Sakura right there. They fought so hard this game, took their first lead, and Fire with the placement off of the nice pass from Burnset ties it up immediately. But yeah, Mr. Anderson thought that was going off the backboard. He took a wide path to that, and then at the last moment, you see him try to cut back in because he realizes, no, that's not hitting the backboard. That's floating in the net. Little double commit out of the defense of FFE. Reaper, big opportunity to try to make him pay there, but kind of slows that play down. I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but would love to see a quick pass or just a quicker play there, kind of punish him for that double commit.
I mean, look at this from Evolve Sakura. Finding the passes, finding the plays to follow up each other as Mr. Anderson, the midfield burn set will send it away. Fire. Ooh, and a lot of panic there from FFE Akuma. So again, I think they're starting to reach a lot more for these challenges in this game. And whatever it is, Evolve Sakura have done well to keep their spacing. Although they still gonna get dunked. Here comes GG Fire. That's wide, but the follow-up will go in. Mr. Anderson will take the lead. FFE Akuma, it's clean. Crisp Rocket League. No mistakes made. And Evolve Sakura are watching from the ground below.
And I can't remember what it's called. Somebody in chat might be able to help me. But when you play basketball, when you practice, well, no. So there's a drill you do where you will everybody runs and throws it off the backboard, and the last guy lays it in. That's almost what FFE Akuma have been doing this whole series. Just 1 off the backboard, 2 off the backboard, maybe even 3 or 4 off the backboard until somebody finally cleans it up. and puts it in. And that comes right back to, like we said, it seems that, you know, they're just clearing it right to them. And I think it's the speed that's getting to them as Fire with a huge shot here. Mr. Anderson, really good control. Fire, or excuse me, Mr. Anderson gets called off. Fire. Oh, it's actually a little team pinch there, a 1, 2, 3. But yeah, I can't remember what the name of the drill. But yeah, you just basically keep throwing it off the backboard, and you know all 5 members of the team run and continue to do that until one of them is either told to score or decides to score, and it's almost what we're seeing from them.
Let us be known, Zen Zero is a basketball player, and I am not. Zen Zero, I think, is over 6 feet tall. I am only 5'5.5". So no, you'll never catch me on a basketball court ever. You might catch me in a gym, though. That's where I go. As Evolve Sakura, that's a good dribble from Crowd. Fake the Jarhead. That's what hit wide. Burnset will get the beat on it, though. And FFE Akuma will keep this ball away now. Just wasting out time. And Evolve Sakura's already going back. And will give it other chances. Time will run out for Evolve Sakura. Game 3 is going to FFE Akuma. They only went away from sweeping their first-round opponent.
And very, very dangerous territory here for Evolve Sakura. You just said it. They're on, not only are they the verge of being swept, but now they have to win 4 straight against a very, very strong team. And, you know, it's not impossible, just improbable. I mean, we're going to have to see them play their very best 4 straight, which is so hard to do. And my heart almost goes out to them a little bit there because they played almost an impeccable first, 3.5 minutes of that game, took the lead late in the game, but immediately let in a kickoff goal, and you almost just felt that demoralized them kind of, and how couldn't it? But I really hope to see them bounce back here, and I think that how they're playing is a lot better than if you look at it and you see, oh, it's a clean sweep. I think they're playing better than that, but we're going to have to see it, on the scoreboard and not just in theory. And man, FFE Akuma, really, really showing them just how tough of opponents they can be and why they went 6-1. We called it. They could not come into this, expecting an easy win, and it really didn't look like they did. They came in game 1, filling out process, respecting the opponent, squeeze out a small victory, make the adjustments after, reading that game 1, playing that filling out game, and everything, they're taking it as serious as can be, as Fire off the backboard almost scores immediately, but Burnset is there to put it in. And just to put an exclamation point on what I was saying, they're taking this very, very serious. They want to knock this one out 4 and out. See you next week. My goodness, they start off great in game number 4.
That's exactly what FFE Akuma needed. They needed that start. They needed that first goal. And again, these guys just look impeccable. They don't look like they're going to be reached here by Evolve Sakura anytime soon, unless Evolve can make some adjustments. FFE Akuma, again, want it to be 4 games and done. They want to go to that second round, but to do that, they've got to still win this game. And again, they might have felt a bit cheated. Again, they're one of the top seeds in their group. They were the top seed in their group, but I think only 4 teams out of the 8 top seeds were able to make it in. Their game differential was just not good enough to make it into that top seed. And I just want to say here, no. We deserve to be there with the rest of them. And so far, they've made that clear. But here comes Reaper, the follow-up from Evolve Sakura, and that redirect to the back wall. I can't believe we saw that from that is just sweet from Crowd. A perfect touch to pass down for Reaper. Evolve Sakura will get one back, and they're not done with this series. Reverse sweeps and best of 7s, they don't happen often. In fact, they've only happened once on this stream's history. And Zen, let's see if you know your sporty trivia well. Do you remember what teams that played that match?
I want to say it was is a team you cast for a lot.
Yes.
Right? You cast for quite a bit. I'm not going to remember quick enough because I need to think about it, but I swear as soon as you say it, I'm going to be mad that I don't remember, because if I'm not mistaken, it's a team that you cast for quite a bit.
Want me to tell you? It was
Yeah, tell me.
Skyward Series Season 1, Wildcard Week 1, Team Ignition Invicta Esports Invicta won in a reverse sweep after losing 3 games straight. That's the only time it's ever happened. We've only had one other time where we've ever seen a best of 7 go to a reverse sweep, potential 2-game 7. That was actually a Blackline Championship Series match, but again, reverse sweeps aren't very common, and reverse sweeps and best of 7s are even tougher. Evolve Sakura have a lot of work to do. But Jarhead, he's gonna make it done. That's a great shot from Jarhead. Evolve Sakura on a tight angle. Catching FFE Akuma here with that dunk from Jarhead. He went for the card, James, went for the dominance this game. And that little extra reach may have just helped him get that goal.
I like it, and what an angle from him right there. And it really seems, I love to see this out of Evolve because it really seems they have stepped it up that extra bit. This entire time, I think they've been a bit outpaced, struggle to keep up with the speed, and it's made them play a bit inconsistent as Mr. Anderson with the dime from Burnset ties it back up. But we're starting to see them, I feel, get a little more comfortable and get those smart touches, get the a little bit more mechy instead of just kind of playing catch up essentially the whole time. That's what I feel like games 1 through 3 were, is they're outpaced and they're barely keeping up, playing catch up, not being able to play their game and not really being able to be very confident or have a plan with their next touch. And that's seemingly changed here in game number 4.
Jarhead specifically saw that dunk there. He's getting more involved in that midfield with those 50-50s, but a miss from Reaper. FFE Akuma have a free clear here. Here comes Mr. Anderson off the back wall. Second touch, infield. Oh, there was no shot on the end of that one from Burnset. FFE Akuma found the opportunity, but they couldn't capitalize on it. And back the other way is Jarhead, another 50-50. But Evolve Sakura will actually misread that one. Here comes a pass in mid. Reaper will take it away. And Evolve Sakura up the field again. Well, that's pinched backwards off the back wall. Mr. Anderson won't have it. Jarhead get that redirect and keep it away. Missed chance there, FFE Akuma. Oh, and a trip from GG Fire. A lot of weird plays in this midfield. Nobody can keep control of it at this point in Game 4. As we're all tied up, both these teams trying to find their way through. And again, a lot of this, I feel, at least for Evolve Sakura, is being led by Jarhead. Those 50-50s. You don't...
Yeah.
The dominance is not known for its 50-50s, but obviously, something about that car and its ability to just reach the ball faster for him is making the difference here. But FFE Akuma in the midfield. That's a good pass. What a block from Reaper. It will keep it wide. And Mr. Anderson will shoot on, but that's gone too. And Evolve Sakura continue to keep themselves level-headed in game number 4.
They are certainly seeming to pick up the pace here and kind of keep up with FFE Akuma. I would still say it's FFE Akuma slightly in more control, and I think that really comes down to their just unreal field awareness. It seems that they always know where their teammate is, and if they somehow don't, their teammates ready to read their play. I mean, they're really firing on all cylinders as I say it. Burnset, another big pass here. That picks up 2 saves for him. Actually bangs it off crowd, off the wall. Mr. Anderson's there. Jarhead and Reaper both in the net, but both just a tad awkward. Can't quite read that. And that was 6 shots there for Mr. Anderson. He's got more than everybody else on the pitch combined.
Really? He's got more than everybody else?
Yeah, it's 6
to 4. Oh, you're not kidding. Oh, my goodness. And I mean, I guess you can't be too surprised. Mr. Anderson has been waiting in the midfield all series long. He's been waiting so often. FFE Akuma have really utilized those passes from the corners.
Yep.
And while some teams are going to be tough to beat that playstyle with, if Mr. Anderson is that consistent and Burnset is that consistent at finding him, why should they stop? Evolve Sakura are the ones who now have to play up to FFE Akuma. They had the lead, but they didn't keep it for the entire length of the game. And now FFE Akuma are starting to put on more and more pressure as time's running out. But that's a good beat from Crowd. Open backfield, open net. He'll find it. Crowd will put it in. A tie game. FFE Akuma got a bit too confident there.
And I cannot believe Burnset actually got a hand on this. I mean, he just helped him bang it in, but I thought that was going to be the easiest open net. Burnset still got back, but too little, too late. And that could be a huge momentum booster for Evolve Sakura, and it's exactly what they need. They need to get that momentum. They need to pick up a game. Oh, my! A nasty pinch from midfield, though, from Mr. Anderson, and Fire goes airborne with it, comes down. Mr. Anderson reads it, pinches at 131 kph. My goodness, what a goal.
And if we're both getting loud, you know it's got to be good.
Yeah.
That was incredible. That's one of the fastest goals I've had on my stream in its history. There's no way that we've seen many goals faster than that. 131 kilometers per hour. FFE Akuma have just rocketed one through the hearts of Evolve Sakura. Can Evolve get back? Time is running out for them. 10 seconds on the clock. Here comes Jarhead down the field. That's hit the crossbar. FFE Akuma were waiting. They'll be fortunate it was wide. Final seconds, Sakura, maybe another chance. Here comes Reaper. 0 seconds, burn set gets the clear. Crowd, dribble, but he won't keep it up. FFE Akuma will sweep Evolve Sakura to lower brackets. They're moving on to round 2.
And you see the 3 demolitions for Fire there in the post game, and all 3 of those came in those last 10 seconds. Excuse me, 2 of the 3 came in those last 10 seconds. Third man was there, ready to shoot. Fire demoed him, 4 seconds left. I mean, my goodness, that had to hurt. And my heart goes out to Evolve Sakura. I think one, they need to be proud of their season, but they're still in it, right? Loser bracket. But I think no matter what, they need to be proud of what they did today as well. But you have to feel for them. It was like every time they would step it up, and you see them step it up, and it went their way. Final form Akuma just stepped it up 2 steps, and we saw it there. I mean, it was the epitome of it was that pinch right there at the end. Evolve Sakura tie it up, and we see just a crazy 131 kph pinch from the midfield. Somebody in net, but good luck reading that. What a goal to end that series, and FFE Akuma have to be very proud.
And that's it. That's it for that match. That's all it for the night. It was a quick one, Zen Zero. But hey, I'm so happy we got to see this. That was an insane final game. Is there anything else you want to say here to the stream before we kind of go offline? I know, again, it was short. It was, again, a little short here. But again, reminder, we got more match tomorrow, and you will be joining me again.
Yep.
Is there anything you want to say here on stream? I mean, you've been here so often. I'm sure you have a routine, but is there anything you want to say?
Of course, same as always. Big shout out to you and your community. Since day one, I felt nothing but welcomed. And when I first start coming and casting on your stream, I had casted probably 5% of the amount you had, and you guys have, gave me nothing but open arms and welcomed me. So big shout out to you and your community. Again, Evolve, you guys should be very proud and continuing that loser bracket. Just keep doing what you did all regular season. Come back stronger, fight stronger, get better. And big shout out to GG Fire and the boys over at FFE. Nothing but love for them. I stayed non-biased while I cast, but now that it's over, I'm always happy to see FFE win, right? I have nothing but love for FFE and Empire.
Again, what a series, what a matchup. Thank you so much again for joining Zen Zero, and thank you all so much for joining to all of you here in chat. Thank you all so much. It was an incredible night of action. That is it here. Again, thank you all so much for joining. Thank you all so much for being so supportive again. From me, from Zen Zero, everybody, have a great night. Zen, make sure you tell everybody to have a great night.
Hey, have a good one. I appreciate you.
Thank you all so much for joining. See you again tomorrow.